Hello everybody. More Seagull shenanigans this time. This time using Cocoa Bean, which is a new perk that copies a random, or creates an exact copy, I should say, of a random pet from your opponent's team before attacking. It's interesting. It's random, which means it's inconsistent, but it's also an exact copy, which is something we haven't really seen in this game before. And that exact means what do you think it means? It copies, stats, it copies, like, if there's some triggers on it already, it copies everything. And it's a tier 5 food, so it's somewhat late to get, but you can still use it with Seagull. The general thing you do with Cocoa Bean is put it on small units, and then your small units have a chance to copy very big units. And what better way to get small units than to have a lot of summons? And so I thought, oh, just have like a summon type team and have Seagull Cocoa Bean to make the summons into potentially big units. And that's kind of the surface level of it. It's not that difficult to come up with that sort of team. But then I wanted to think, okay, well, how do I stop the worst cases where, Cocoa Bean copies really, really small units? I thought Dolphin. Dolphin is part of it. I didn't actually end up using Dolphin in this run. High grounded, by the way. But I wanted to show off something new from the Danger Pack, and I wanted to show off something that I don't think I've really seen content on. Because typically it's a very bad unit. It's Tasmanian Devil, which if you don't know is a tier 4 that start of battle jump attacks the lowest attack enemy for 50% damage, and the damage upgrades on level. So level 2 it's 100% damage, level 3 it's 150% damage. So, getting it to level 3, you technically are dealing more damage than, or it's damage that's scaling with how much attack it has, but you're never really getting this to level 3. It's more used as a tech unit, if anything else, where maybe it can, kill a scorpion or something like that. In this case, however, we want the Tasmanian Devil to be fairly big, and we don't care as much about getting it to level 3. Level 2 is nice, but not ideal. And the idea is, it's just there to kill off small units. I end up getting a second Tasmanian Devil on the board as well. It also will have a Cocoa Bean on it, and it's just there to kill small units to ensure that our big ensemble of Seagull Cocoa Bean copies the big unit as many times as possible. Obviously, we still can't force it. But we want to at least kind of rig the odds in our favor. Here's a summon team that we are still able to beat. But yeah, already the Tasmanian Devil's just kind of existing to kill small units off, which is fine enough. We finally find the Seagull here. Unfortunately, the other Zebra hit goes to the Skeleton Dog, which we're getting rid of, because it can't stay on our final board, unfortunately. But the good news is that we have Bonobo now able to copy Seagull. I freeze this other Bonobo. There are a lot of cases here where I probably should have frozen, Vanilla Bean where I didn't. Vanilla Bean is in theory, incredibly powerful. 2/3 to 2 units. Even if you just get it on one unit, it's already better stats than a pair is. Right? And a pair is on the same tier. But it's deceptively difficult to get Vanilla Bean to work on multiple units, especially if you just want value from it immediately, like this. It's pretty difficult. Here's iCarve. Unfortunately, our Skeleton Dog gets dazed, so we're not able to get stats from it, but that's honestly fine. So I'm rolling. I could do some shenanigans with Seagull Rice. And to be honest, maybe I should have done that. Here comes in the Behemoth, just to effectively keep us afloat. It's a 14-14 on the turn you buy it, and I will always advocate for Behemoth still being insanely strong. Like, you don't need the kind of broken Sorobod Bird of Paradise support to make Behemoth strong. It's just, like, a very solid unit for... Thanks for the Dirty Rats, by the way. It's a very solid unit for just getting a lot of these sillier builds over the line. Here's a Sauropod, which I used to just generate a little bit of gold when I put Cocoa Bean on the Seagull. For this reason, you don't really want to stat the Seagull that much until you have nothing else to do. You care about it not getting sniped, obviously, but it's kind of hard to guarantee that. First, you want to focus on buffing other things, like I'm doing with the monkey here. So anyway, here we kill the worm, which is cool, but these breakpoints aren't great. You get pretty close, actually, as crazy as it looks, because the Cocoa Bean gives us Reindeer, but it can't do the before attack because the before attack stage has already happened when Cocoa Bean triggered, so it can't actually gain Melon on that swing, but then it gains a Melon here and has 2 triggers left still. So we get pretty close. We still lose the fight, but we get close. Here's another Seagull. I'm pushing for level 3. And I'm continuing to buff the Tasmanian Devil. Eventually the Tasmanian Devil, the big one, will have an Yggdrasil fruit on it. And so I want it to be able to survive its jump attack. Here's Coolcuss. The mysterious Coolcuss. We jump attack the Quetzalcoatl. Tree Kangaroo is pretty irrelevant, but, you know, it does make funny sound with Sauropod. This Stego is giving a lot of stats to the II and the Parrot, but check this out. The II is getting a lot of triggers, and it's pretty big. 7. But remember how I said Cocoa Bean's an exact copy? That's right. I steal the II and both trigger at the same time. And we get a draw. It's absolutely incredible. Thank you, mysterious Coolcuss. Getting a little bit more gold from the Sauropod. But it's like a healthy dosage. We get the Krill. It miraculously gives us another Yggdrasil fruit anyway. So we just put that there. And we freeze the Rockhopper Penguin. This is just an example of a unit that you can keep very small. And it'll jump to the front and basically do its ability before Cocoa Bean ever activates. So it kind of had 2 abilities if you think about it. Here's Eleander. We killed the Pelican we killed the Pelican, but while dead, it's still able to eat the Kangaroo, which is kind of funny. Here comes the Salmon. It's not doing much, though. But look, this is kind of how it works. We get the Cocoa Bean from this. We get, in this case, a 6/5 Crane, but that's the idea. Our small summons become units that get transformed into potentially big units with Cocoa Bean. We get another Cocoa Bean from the Seagull, and then we reset the triggers on it, so that it can still give 3 Cocoa Beans in battle. And we find the level 2 Rockhopper Penguin. Pretty cool. Who is this? Just for Fi? That seems like a lot of stats for turn 13, wouldn't you think? Anyway, here's our jump attack. Thank you, Tasmanian Devil. Here's our Nordic Goat. Your owl is now my owl. And we get 50-21. We basically gained, what is it, 61 stats in a single maneuver, and that's not even the best we can do. Rockhopper Penguin, you jump to the front. Your rabbit is now my rabbit, and these two trade. We summon more goats. Get a cocoa bean on both of them. Your cat is now my cat. And we win by miles. Because we're just cocoa bean copying their like biggest stats. It's beautiful. We start the behemoth a little bit. I'm pushing for level 3 Rockhopper Penguin. Because we still only have 5 wins on turn 14. So, you know, why not? We kill that small tiny T-Rex. Here comes the Nordic Goat with a cocoa bean. Copies a jellyfish. Anything would have worked there, just to get the trade. Here comes the Rockhopper Penguin, copying another jellyfish. Here come the rest of the cocoa beans, and we copy that final unit. We are just simply whichever team we face up against, but better. Theoretically, at least. There's still, like, snipes that can kill us. But I'm sure that'll be fine. We won't have to worry about that, right? Right? Right. Here's Trout Girl. I don't know who this is. If it's an alt account name, or if it's just an actual customs player. But I do in fact see a lot of trout on this person's boards. We jump attack the cockatoo. The skunk reduces our health. But it's fine, we have a Nordic goat. And the cocoa bean, we copy a 50-50 warthog. Thank you for the free stats. That's awesome to see. The Rockhopper Penguin comes. We copy the trout, which doesn't do anything, but... Oh no, look how many stats they're gaining. That's kind of scary. Unfortunately, your 4650 trout is now my 4650 trout. And we win again by loads. Honestly, at this point, I should have even started just celerying the Seagull and the Rockhopper Penguin to protect them. But I get rid of the monkey now. The Tasmanian Devil's pretty big. And I wanted to get another Tasmanian Devil in. Here's a full Peanut team. Level 2 Chameleon. Peanut with Real Velociraptor. Kind of scary. Our Tasmanian Devil knocks into their Leviathan. The crab goes. Our Tasmanian Devil becomes a crab. And kills the Leviathan. We get a Nordic Goat. We get a cocoa bean. It becomes another crab. But they get chameleon, or they get the peanut butter puck back, which is kind of scary. We get another crab. Oh, hell yeah. And we get another crab. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We're just stealing their crab about 50 different times. It still looks kind of close, but we still have a 36-36 in the back, courtesy of the Rockhopper Penguin. So at this point, I'm kind of just looking for celery. I want to protect my Seagull first, because of Croc. It doesn't matter as much if our small Tasmanian Devil dies. The most important thing to keep alive is the Seagull. Here's Horsing ASAP. Famed Ultimate Chicken Horse player. Our Tasmanian Devil kills the Bangai Cardinal Fish. Our smaller Tasmanian Devil becomes a weasel which dies. There's a level 3 Black Rhino, which is kind of scary because it's gonna get an activation here. Because we have the Nordic Goats. But we copy the Black Rhino ourselves with its triggers, and then it hits the tortoise and just snipes out our Seagull. But luckily the behemoth is still big enough to win that fight. My god, this build looks unstoppable. At this point I'm just looking for celery as a precautionary measure. To just make sure that, you know, we don't die too horribly to snipes. There's one celery. Most likely for the Seagull. Anyway, here's level 3 50-50 Leopard. Yeah, this is the problem with some builds like this. They can run into level 3 50-50 Leopard. And now, yeah, that's an issue. The Rockhopper Penguin still gets to jump and copy a 50-50, so that's, you know, that's cool, right? We got a 36-36 still, but yeah, they still have a whole other 50-50. And we ran out of cocoa beans. Here's the celery for Seagull. Here's another celery for the Rockhopper Penguin. I've gotten the Seagull past 25 health, which means it will now survive a 50-50 Leopard. Assuming it only gets hit once, of course, which is most likely. This guy. This team looks pretty unassuming. I mean, you've got this level 2 Leopard randomly here, you've got a level 3 Crocodile, it's just all snipes. But, you know, unfortunately that means Lynx Tiger is going to wipe out our entire board and not let anything trigger whatsoever, and then we lose off the bat. So turn 20 we're going into, 9 wins, 1 life, and I'm just buying my celery. Buy one more on Seagull, because I'm realizing, like, okay, maybe Croc is a concern. I buy one on Tasmanian Devil. Because why not? Surely there won't be, like, a level 3 dolphin that... Not only is it level 3, it has a pineapple. But, regardless. Here's the final fight. We killed the dog through Melon immediately. The dolphin does sadly kill our Tasmanian Devil, but that's okay. They got a level 3 fly. This level 3 Rhino is not doing anything to our big guy. We're getting some cocoa beans. We copied the regular fly. Doesn't do anything because it's at the front, but you know, it was a good effort. Here comes the Rockhopper Penguin. Just simply cleaning up. And then, what do we get? Another zombie fly. We don't even get to see the cocoa beans that we still have reserved. We still have 2 cocoa bean triggers left on the Seagull, but we don't even get to see them. And we win the run. I've got like a few variations of this team in the arena. I want to run it more because it's so sick and cool, but I have a big challenge idea that I'm gonna be doing, so I probably will have to dedicate time to that instead. And also, you know, Team Tour is happening. But yeah, that's about it for me. Hope you like the build. Have a wonderful day.